Oh, so, this is a video bringing the story of the family heirloom, the crib that I had been recovering. This is the third video in that series, the third and final video in that series. And it's not really the ending that any of us were expecting. 3 weeks ago, the courier company UPS collected these two enormous boxes. They really are enormous. So big that my brother had to arrange for the boxes to be specially made because they weren't a standard size. They just weren't any big enough on the market to fit the base of the crib and the top of the crib. So pretty big boxes, and you can see well marked up. We did all the necessary packaging. Hello, Mr. Pops. And 3 weeks ago, I forget the date now, but 3 weeks ago, over 3 weeks ago, the UPS guy came to pick them up, and he couldn't take them because he said that we hadn't got all of the paperwork that was required. And he said, you know, if I take these without the paperwork, then they're just going to get returned to you. So we're like, yep, no, fine, that's fine, leave it with us. And, you know, we weren't aware there was still more paperwork that was needed. And we'll get that sorted. So I got straight onto my brother in Canada. He tracked down the paperwork that was required. We printed off the 3 copies that the driver needed, and sure enough, he came back the next day and checked all the paperwork, said that's absolutely fine, no problem at all, and off it went on its way. And obviously we'd got tracking numbers, so we were able to, right from the word go, track its progress. And it didn't make any progress. There was no update on the app, and we were getting a little bit concerned. And as the days went on, there still wasn't any update. And this was our worst nightmare, that the crib was going to go missing at some point on the journey. My brother bombarded social media with posts. He's very good with words, and desperate for some help from somebody, because UPS were basically being completely useless. And when they finally admitted that, yeah, it looks like the packages are lost, they seemed to be quite happy that they'd opened a complaint and an investigation, but weren't actually able to tell us what that investigation consisted of, what timescale we could be looking at. There was just no information forthcoming. My brother contacted LinkedIn. He contacted all the top men and women, you know, in the top positions on LinkedIn for UPS, and as well as other customer service staff members. And, you know, there were a couple of occasions when we thought, yeah, we've got somebody on board who's really going to do something, and then it would just go cold, you know, and you get nothing from them. And we really didn't know what to do for the best, because we couldn't get any answers. And then it was, I've lost track of the days, Monday, I was up in town doing my normal post run, and as I was walking along the street, who should I see, or what should I see, but one of the big UPS brown vans with the driver that had picked up the packages in the first place. So, I mean, I don't know what he thought. I'm sure this doesn't happen very often to him, But there I was, stood in the street, waving him down, because I thought, I've got to speak to him. I've got to ask him if he knows anything about these packages and what could have happened to them. Because it's not easy to forget. I remember him saying that he was worried they wouldn't actually fit in his van that he'd got because they were so big. Anyway, he was really, really helpful. He did remember coming to pick these up. He gave me lots of advice, which was very good, but still we were stuck as to how we could, because he said you need to find out if it's still in the country, if it has left the UK. But when nobody from customer services is telling you anything or prepared to pick up the phone and ring anybody, you're stuck. Because to us, it seemed a simple case of just ring, you know, the depot that the parcels were taken to, check to see if they're still there, speak to the driver, see if the driver can, you know, shed any light on it. All these basic things, that's all that needed to be done. But no, that was not part of the UPS protocol to do that. We don't know what their protocol is, but it was not as simple as that. But in the end, the driver said, but I'll tell you what, when I get back to the Sheffield depot, which is where he dropped them off, which incidentally is only about 17 miles away from me, so not far at all. He said, when I get back, he said, I'll have a quick look round and see if I can see anything, because it's not going to be too hard to spot two massive boxes. 5 hours later, I received an email from someone who appeared very lovely, Holly from Sheffield depot, saying, we've got your 2 parcels here still and we've not been able to process them because the paperwork is missing. Now, as I've already said, that is too much of a coincidence. You know, I accost the UPS driver and, sorry, Mr. Pops just walked by. I accost the driver and you know, he says he's going to check, and then lo and behold, suddenly they appear. So we made the decision not to risk sending it on to Canada, because one of the things that we had discovered in the last 3 weeks is what a terrible track record UPS actually has for losing packages. I know this happens all the time, but it isn't just a case of losing them, it's about what action they take in order to rectify that. And everybody was having exactly the same problem with trying to get, you know, decent information from UPS customer services. So we just did not want to risk it. And we were all, as a family, so relieved that the crib was still, you know, in the UK, that we decided, let's just have it sent back to me, and I will take care of it again until it's needed next time by somebody in the family. I'm hoping that my brother and his wife and new baby daughter, because that's what they had, a beautiful baby daughter, I'm hoping that they will be visiting before too long, flying back and visiting, and perhaps baby May will get to you know, sit in the crib, because she's certainly going to be far too big to sleep in it or do anything like that. She was born at the beginning of August, so, and this is what, 19th of October now that we're talking about. So yes, I'm going to unbox it now to make sure that it is all okay, because that's the most important thing as well. You know, we need to know that it's still in one piece. Boxes look to be all right, they don't appear to be damaged. So I'm hoping that they are, you know, everything is intact. Well, I've unpacked the crib and thankfully everything is fine. There's no damage to it whatsoever. It's just so sad that that should have been my brother and his wife unpacking that in Canada for their new baby, and now this was me unpacking it, and that baby won't get the opportunity to use it, and it's really, really sad. So much love has gone into this from so many people, but it's here and it's back in the family, so for that we are all really, really grateful. So here is the crib. Really hard to video it, but you know, it's beautiful cream cotton lace that they chose. You know, this fabric they chose, and it was shipped over here to the UK from Latvia. They wanted, it's a beautiful, it looks a bit grey, but it's actually more green linen. They wanted a very natural finish. When they'd seen that, some of the packing puffs, when they'd seen the crib with all the fabric removed in one of my videos, they asked if they could keep as much of the wicker exposed as possible, and so that's what I did. Because on the previous versions, if you look at the other videos, this was all covered with fabric. I'd also made a couple of extra items using my laser cutter. I'd made a hanging sign, which I will now post and pop, you know, in the post to them. And I also made a matching pillow for the nursery with some, you know, with baby's name there. Yeah, bit sad, but also happy. And so that's the end of the story of the crib. Thanks for watching these videos about the crib. I've had some great feedback from you all about it. You know, you've enjoyed something a little bit different. But yeah, that's it. That is the end of the story of the crib. It is back here. I think that will go up in my attic space where I used to have my craft room, and I shall keep that covered and protected for, you know, whenever there's another baby. Who knows? Might not be that long. Right, that's the end of this video, and I will catch you all again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.